that it lies in the heart of people who dare to try. That was the birthplace of competitions that invited people from all around the world to give their imagination the best platform. Joining us to talk about the voices of emerging innovators who dare to come up with new social business solutions, who dare to write social fictions instead of science fictions. Let me welcome on stage my colleague from Viva Ventures, Fairana Afsana, who will showcase the winning ideas from this year's social business design competition and social fiction design competition. Over to you.
For such a warm introduction. Hello to everyone. Assalamu alaikum, konnichiwa, jambo, hello, bonjour, and mingalabar. To everyone joining us from all across the world. These greetings that I just mentioned don't even represent 10% of the submissions and the 10% of the countries, communities that we reached through the two global competitions, the social fiction design competition and the social business design competition. Can I get a huge round of applause for this amazing news, please? Thank you so much. Together, these two competitions received nearly 1,200 applications from 67 countries. From Albania to Zimbabwe, we reached every continent except Antarctica. But yeah, we'll do better next time for that. These competitions brought together entrepreneurs, storytellers, dreamers, innovators, and change makers from every corner of the world. Before we begin, hi, I'm Fairana Afsana, and it is my privilege to be with you as we celebrate the remarkable submissions and the winners of both of these competitions. At first, let's start with the social business design competition. The social business design competition asked everyone from all around the world what kind of business can solve real problems while putting people and the planet first. This competition challenged people to think about creating social businesses from the world of a 3.0. And boy, did the world deliver. This year, we received nearly 760 applications from 49 countries, and the top 10 represented a staggering 1.3% of the applicants that reached the grand finale. So it's very amazing to see, sitting here today, the vision of a world of 3.0s that started as just an imagination from Sir has now reached all the continents around the world and has reached thousands of people all across the world. We saw teams coming from Kenya, Ghana, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, South Africa, Tanzania, Colombia, Bangladesh, and the Philippines, only in the top 10. So imagine what are the other countries that we reached all together. Collectively, they tackle some of the most pressing challenges our world is facing today. We saw the vision of Kenya of communities building circular economies where waste becomes income. We saw bold approaches in South Africa and Asia for artisan empowerment and for financial inclusion. Together, these finalists reminded us that social business is not simply about solving problems, it is about redesigning the systems. This year's submission represented all three pillars of Professor Muhammad Yunus's vision of a world of 3.0s. And before we even announce the winner, I would once again like to thank the jury for the grand finale of Social Business Design Competition. We were honored to have Dominic V. Doster, who of course brings deep experience as a social entrepreneur and sits as an executive board member of the YWA Foundation. Dominic, if you're here in the room with us, I could love to see a hi. Oh, there is Dominic. Thank you so much for judging the finale. Next up, we had Sharifa Sophia, an accomplished economist, and again, someone who clearly doesn't need much of an introduction in this room. She's a trustee of Al-Bukhari University, couldn't join us here for this specific session, but she's our dear friend. Thirdly, we had Dr. Fayaz Shah, Executive Director of the Yunus Center at the Asian Institute of Technology and a mentor to thousands of changemakers over 4 decades. Dr. Fayaz, are you in the room with us? If I could get a wave. Maybe Dr. Faiz is not currently in the room, but regardless, thank you, judges, for lending your expertise, your time, and your wisdom to this competition. And now, the moment we have all been waiting for, The winner of the Social Business Design Competition 2026 is, can I get some drum rolls, please? If someone could do some drum rolls for us. Thank you, thank you. The winner is none other than Brickup from Colombia. Can I get a huge round of applause for them? Breakup's social business idea was to create a platform designed to support women excluded from traditional educational systems and connect them to meaningful employment. Of course, I don't think I would be the right person to talk about that vision, so let's hear from the winner herself. If I could have the video, please.
Hi, I'm Juliana Vélez from Colombia. In Latin America, 83% of mothers never studied beyond high school because current educational tools are not made for them. This condemns them to live in poverty. In BRIC, we are building educational system for women excluded from traditional education. We have reached more than 6,000 students with courses via WhatsApp. And with the social business design competition, we are going to invest in creating our native app to reach millions all over the world. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Can I get a huge round of applause? We wish Breakup all the very best, and we move into the next competition of today. And before I even begin talking about this competition, I would like to reflect a little bit on the wise words that were shared by Sir yesterday in our panel, where he emphasized the power of imagination. If you can imagine, you can build. If you can imagine, you can take the first step. And that is exactly what this competition represents. Social Fiction Design Competition asked the world, what would the life of a young person look like in 2050 if we are brave enough to dream beyond today's limitations? The Social Fiction Design Competition challenged artists using any creative platform to imagine that future. And what followed was, of course, phenomenal. This year, SFDC received 420 applications from 46 countries. Thank you, thank you. And only 10 finalists, approximately 2.4% of these applicants, reached the grand finale. And in these applications, we saw people daring to dream about a better Pakistan, daring to dream about a better situation and economy and community in South Africa, where the year 2050 lives in inclusion, in empowerment, and lives in a community that believes in building and growing together. So if SBDC asked how we solve problems, SFDC asked us to imagine what that success would look like. Because before every innovation comes imagination, and before every future becomes reality, someone must first dare to envision it. Of course, I would also like to extend my gratitude to the judges of the grand finale of Social Fiction Design Competition. And at first, we have none other than Miss Lamia Morshed. Lamia, you know who you are. Everyone in this room knows who you are. Can I get a hi from you? And can I get a huge round of applause for her? Thank you so much. We were also joined by Alex Counts, who is the founder of the Grameen Foundation and an accomplished author whose books on social entrepreneurship and microfinance have inspired change makers around the world. Alex could not be here with us today, but of course, we send him our deepest thanks for judging this finale. And last, we were joined by Ayn Clark Onya, the director and producer of the award-winning documentary, A World of Three Zeros. Safe to say, the top 10 were in really good hands. Thank you to our judges for bringing your expertise in social innovation, development, and storytelling to this year's competition. And now, again, the part we've all been waiting for. Whoop. The winner of the Social Fiction Design Competition is, drum roll again, please. Are we excited to know who the winner is? I'm particularly excited because the winner is Ong Jo Than from Thailand. Thank you so much. Ong has a very simple vision. In the year 2050, he sees social business as a tool that brings people together, and he wants this voice to go out to all the communities through storytelling. Again, Ong would be a better messenger to share his vision. So can we have the video from Ong, please?
Hello, I'm Anjata from Mark, and thank you so much for the opportunity. I applied to this competition because I believe profit-driven businesses only deepen inequality, and I want to present social businesses as a viable solution that can create a just and equitable future for all of us. I chose storytelling because it can connect us on a powerful level and inspire action. And with this win, I will document the stories of 5 social enterprises from my community already working towards a wall of 3 zeros. And I will present them with marginalized communities through screenings and capacity building sessions.
Woohoo! Thank you so much, everyone. Lovely. Now, what's next for these change makers? Winning this competition is only the beginning. What follows is them receiving a grant money from the YY Foundation and DPLC, where these change makers will be able to implement their idea and really support their community. What that looks like is the next 6 months of envisionment in action, of imagination in action. Congratulations once again to our winners. And we at YY Ventures and at Yunus Center, we love creating these competitions and opportunities for change makers, for visionaries to come up and be bold. So if you like to partner up and would love to discuss this more, we are always open. I'll of course end this segment by thanking again our lovely partners who have helped us make this competition real. And I'll end this segment by adding a very short reflection. The future belongs to those who dare to imagine it and those who dare to build it. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of the event.
And congratulations to all the winners, and we look forward to supporting them over the next months while they launch their initiatives. Now, let's move into answering a very important question. So once you find talented young people with innovative ideas, sometimes wild, sometimes crazy, how do you make them realize it? And to do so, you need to build ecosystems. And we do a lot of social business ecosystem development initiatives together with Yunus Center. And to lead this next segment of our today's spotlight, I would like to call on stage our moderator, Shihab Kadir, who leads the international projects at Yunus Center and understands how to weave together global partnerships around shared purposes. Over to you, Michael Bhai.
Mic. La 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 la. Zoo 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 zoo. Grameen Healthcare told me that they will give me $500 if I can dance for the first 5 minutes, and I will share with all of you if you start clapping. La 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 la. Zoo 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 zoo. 1, 2, 3, 0. Ow! Ladies and gentlemen, I'm wearing a suit. That means I'm here to talk about something very important. Let me take the energy in. Every time I come on stage, they give me the session right after lunch. And after lunch, আপনারা সবাই ভাত টাত খেয়ে খিচুড়ি টিচুড়ি খেয়ে এমন একটা ভাত ঘুম দিবেন তখনই আমাকে ডাকে. So I'm compelled to sing along like this. So I apologize for my stage presence. I have a quick question for you. How many of you has ever bought a lottery ticket? Raise your hands. Did anybody buy a lottery ticket? All right, some of you. And how many of you have actually won a lottery ticket? Won the lottery? Anybody? Oh, one of you, that's good. For me, every year I win the lot. Every year when I come to the Social Business Day, I feel like I won the lottery because I'm amidst such amazing energy, 30 club members, social business entrepreneurs, Nobel laureate Professor Yunus. It's like I already won the lottery. Don't you feel the same way? Is it too cringe? Thank you. On that happy note, let me invite on the stage my new best friend from the Netherlands, Lydie Sievers. Come on in. Give a round of applause for Lydie. Great to meet you. How are you, Lydie? Thank you so much. Is this your first time in Bangladesh?
So I do have to do a dance now as well.
Oh, do you know any moves? That's good.
So we're after lunch, huh? So
After
we
lunch.
Keep the energy in.
I just digested half a plate of khichdi. Thank you so much. Lydie, this is the first time in Bangladesh?
Yes, it is.
Oh, but you look like you're from Nilphamari. Do you know that place? It's up in the north.
Oh, is that a compliment?
Yeah, you're practically
thank you.
a local. I've never been to the Netherlands, but I hear great stories about the Dutch postal code lottery. Is it true that out of the all the funds that you generate from the lottery, you use 40% of it towards social impact activities all across the world?
It's absolutely true. And to tell you a bit more about our organization, we are a social business. We're founded in the Netherlands. We are a non-profit organization. We're running charity lotteries with indeed the sole purpose to generate funds for charity partners around the world. And I also heard quite a bit already about imagination and entrepreneurship. And it's also what we did back in the Netherlands in 1989 when the lotteries were founded. And back then it was actually quite a bold idea to start a charity lottery in that way to generate funds. And we did it based on postcodes, so where your house stands, and that's why it's called the postcode lottery. And here we are today. We are an international group. We work now across 5 different countries: the Netherlands, Germany, UK, Sweden, and Norway. We have over 11 million players playing with 15 million tickets every month.
Fantastic.
And that way we can support the YY Foundation.
Fantastic.
And we have a very special relationship with Professor Yunus.
Of course.
So the happiest birthday from all of us from the Postcode Lottery Group.
Let's show our friends the video. So
that would be great. They have a good idea.
Thank you.
The humble postcode, a set of numbers and letters that hold a lot of power. The power to change lives, neighborhoods, and communities, both near and far. At the Postcode Lottery, we've always believed that together we can be a force for good. That's why we've made it our mission to raise as many funds as possible for initiatives that help build a better society. From small and local charities to large international charity organizations, our players support them all. Our goal, to turn every home's postcode into a ticket for good, so everyone has the chance to win prizes with their neighbors and contribute every month to a healthier, fairer, and greener world. We're a private company owned by a non-profit foundation, and we have a strong, long-term and flexible funding philosophy which allows our charity partners to achieve maximum impact. We've raised over 15 billion euros to date, ranking as the 3rd largest private charity donor worldwide, following the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and the Wellcome Trust. Last year alone, we generated 2.8 billion euros from ticket sales and donated more than 1 billion euros to a wide range of charities. And with 15 million players across 5 nations, soon to be 6, we have a strong base and huge scope for expansion. With millions of postcodes, these humble numbers and letters have the power to make life better for everyone.
Wow, that is amazing, Lily. I'm so happy you're doing such amazing work. But I had a quick request for you. In my pocket, I have 200 taka. Can I buy a lottery ticket? Just, I'm feeling lucky.
That would be great, but you have to come over to the Netherlands or to Germany or UK.
But can Bangladeshis buy a ticket, or I have to be from a Dutch person?
Then we have to start a lottery here. We have to get a license. So maybe we know somebody who can help us.
I think that's too much more. The easier route would be to collaborate with the Dutch youth, form 30 clubs in the local communities, the neighborhoods, and then in turn they can collaborate with the 30 clubs in Bangladesh, have an exchange of ideas, and they will all feel like millionaires. How about that?
Sounds perfect.
On that happy note, let's welcome my favorite millionaire from Germany, Mr. Dominik Deuster, Managing Director of our Foundation. Give a round of applause. He is actually very sad. He is wearing a black Punjabi because his team lost against Ecuador. Dominik, I'm very sorry, but you're still smiling. Thank you so much. And you look very good. Come to the center of the scene. Oh, you're perfect. Go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm excited to be here today with you, and a heartfelt thanks to Didi for your words, and also to you, to Carol, Viala, and to Petra for coming all the way from the Netherlands to be with Professor Yunus and us here at this 16th Social Business Day. This year is a big milestone for us because we celebrate now the 10 years of partnership with the Dutch Postcard Lottery. You've been supporting us all these years in our work in social business with a strong focus on youth education, entrepreneurship, in particular social business, and youth activation. And just 4 weeks ago, we were together in Amsterdam at your annual partner event, and Professor Yunus was your guest of honor addressing the audience, and you committed to a new social business initiative that will start right here in Bangladesh. And Shihab and Osman will share more about that. I would like to thank you on behalf of the Foundation for your long-standing support and great partnership. And we look much forward to create substantial impacts together in the future and the years ahead. Thank you very much.
Didi, thank you. I like having you on session. I'm gonna keep coming,
Yeah, I'm
taking
coming,
you back
I'm
in.
coming.
So for our next guest, I would like to invite a really hard worker from the field, my bosom buddy, my brother from another mother, Mr. Osman Dhali. Give it up for Osman Dhali, Chief Operating Officer of YY Ventures. Run, we're running out of time. I just want to share something personal. Actually, personally, me and Osman were really fair. We were really handsome. We were as fair as Lidi, but working in the ground, we turned like, we don't have good sunscreen. So that can be a good social business idea. So I'm not Shamla, but I am not Osman, why don't you share us what do we do exactly on the field in collaboration with Dutch Postal Lottery and YY Foundation? Once we have the strategy in place, once Lamia Appa, Professor Mohammed Yunus helps us formulate the entire thing, when we are actually on the ground in the LATAM region, in Brazil, Colombia, Mexico, be it in the 9 countries in East Africa. Do you remember them? Where we work? Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, and even in Asia. What are the common steps that you do to empower the youth? Go ahead.
First of all, I would like to thank everyone, especially Shihab Bhai, to invite me to the most energetic spotlight session at this Social Business Day. What we do, we reach out to find the right minds, right entrepreneurs around different corners around the world. We do different activations and awareness campaign to see what is there in the field, what is present, what ideas are present. We do different kinds of idea validation workshops to identify what is feasible in different areas, what makes sense considering the locality and the community. And then we put them into incubation programs where we provide them different kinds of supports, training, and financial access so that they can grow and make their business sustainable. And in the long run, we work with those entrepreneurs to make those businesses social business.
Perfect. And Lydia, I also just want to assure the 21 countries that I mentioned, everywhere we go, it's not like a cookie cutter approach. Our entire approach is tailored and nurtured as per the locality, as per the neighborhood. So there was once, couple of years ago, we went to the favelas in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro. Riote ekta bosti ase high up in the mountains, they are called as favelas. And over there, we work with supporters of local drug lords, and there were 8 grade students, and we put them at the same table. They were discussing how can we take social business to the schools. People wanted to make 3-0 clubs. Although there wasn't any mechanism, we tried to help build with this. And we did this with the local mayor's office, with the state minister for youth and sports. But when we went to Mexico, it was a different ball game. We couldn't get the help of the mayor. We had to take help from the local city councils. So every country, every platform we go, we have to design the ecosystem a bit differently.
That sounds very good. Thank you for
Thank you.
explaining that.
See all my receding hairline and the white gray hair? It's because of that, it's all the stress. And to sum it all up, I would like to invite Lamia Appa on stage, Bono's favorite friend from Bangladesh, Lamia Morshed, Rajin in our circles. Appa, if you could just sum up and tell us how you guided the entire, you want to use the mic, sure.
Thank you so much. So from my previous speakers, you understand the scope of this ecosystem development initiative that we have together with the core organizations represented on the stage. The reason Yunus Center developed this initiative is very simple. Social business cannot grow in isolation. Young people may have ideas, they may have the energy, commitment, passion, but they also need mentors, universities, networks, local partners, funding pathways and platforms where they can test and develop their ideas. Through the Social Business Ecosystem Development Initiative, We wanted to build those conditions. The objective was not only to organize activities, but to strengthen the environment around young people and social business entrepreneurs so that the ideas can move towards real action. Yunus Center developed the proposal, the strategy, the implementation plan with this ecosystem approach in mind. YY Ventures helped co-implement the activities in the field. YY Foundation, of course, is the partner with the DPCL, supported the entire structure, stewardship, and developed the partnership. And Dutch Postcode Lottery, of course, made the whole work possible through its support. I was very excited to announce that it's been 10 years, and we hope, and thank you very much, Lydie, and all the colleagues from Holland for coming to Social Business Day this year. I hope this will deepen your commitment and support to social business in the future. So the main beneficiaries were the young people, the universities, the YSBCs in our network, the 30 clubs, social business entrepreneurs, local organizations, and ecosystem builders. They benefited through awareness, capacity building, networking, mentoring, and the practical exposure to social business. The outcome is that we now have stronger connections, better local engagement, more youth participation, and a clear foundation for future incubation and social business development. The next phase should deepen this work by supporting stronger youth-led social business pipelines, connecting more universities and partners, strengthening more and building more 30 clubs, and expanding the model to other regions. This initiative shows that when funding, strategy, local implementation, and institutional commitment come together, we can really create the conditions for social business to grow, flourish, scale up. This is the larger value of this work. Thank you very much again to DPCL for coming to Social Business Day this year. Thank you YY Foundation for bringing them. Thank you Yunus Center, Shihab and team, and also thank you YY Ventures for being a strong partner in this work. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I would also like to request, there are other 3 friends coming in from the Netherlands. If you could just stand up, and everybody please clap for them. It's their first time in Bangladesh. Give them the warm Bangladeshi Shuki welcome. Didi, how do you say go Netherlands? Like to root for that in the World Cup?
Oh, the World Cup. Yeah, we're going to win the World Cup indeed.
Really?
Yes.
You are saying that to a room full of Brazilian and Argentinian supporters?
I hope you will all support us.
How do you say go Netherlands or go Dutch in your local language?
Hup, Netherlands.
Hup, hup, Netherlands. ওরা সবাই একসাথে বলেন ভাই, তাহলে একটু আমাদের সুবিধা হয় একটু থাকবে। Hup, hup, Netherlands. Wow. You have a very strong power.
Super.
This is the first time in Bangladesh since our
First
independence,
time,
a room
yes.
full of Argentinian supporters rooted for Netherlands.
I hope so.
Quite an impactful lady you are. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you
Thank
so
you so much,
much.
ladies and
Thank
gentlemen.
you so much.
I would like to request all my friends on stage to come down and take a picture with the Nobel Peace Laureate, if he's willing, and the other DPCL colleagues as well. Thank you so much. Of course, you are.
Hello everyone, I am Ankita Shohel, the manager of the 3Z Global Center, and it feels amazing to be here. Can I just see how many of us know what 30 Club is? There's a few hands. The front row, a lot of hands. Anyone in the back? I see a few hands there. Okay, so a lot of people, but I do see some hands are still down. So hopefully we can connect today and see how we can create impact together. So the 30 Club is a global youth initiative where we're trying to achieve the vision of Professor Muhammad Yunus, the birthday boy, happy birthday, sir, of creating a world of 3 zeros: zero net carbon emission, zero unemployment, and zero wealth concentration. And how do we do so? We tell youth, 5 youth together, ages between 12 to 35, who come together, make small or big impacts, like planting trees, like Shazib Bhai said. It could be app making. So we have this app called One Save Per Day in France. What they do is they give small challenges to youth everywhere around the world. They have 10,000 users. For example, today, take shower that's 5 minutes, so you're saving water. Don't eat meat for the day. On the other hand, we have people in Philippines. What they do is they make bags from used jeans. Do we have NWTF in this room? Can we give a round of applause for them as well? Then we have people in Nepal that are doing amazing work. I think Sir has told us yesterday as well, the highest number of clubs in Nepal, 3,000 clubs. A round of applause for them as well. And then there's obviously Bangladesh. The youth are doing amazing work. And today, one of the youth from Bangladesh will be speaking in the last panel. But a little overview of what we do. Sorry. So we just crossed 7,000 clubs, which is a community of 35,000 youth in 67 countries. Take a closer look here. If your country is not listed down, you know what to do. I'll be in this room. Just come to me so we can connect and help create a world of 3 zeros. But like I said, the community consists of you taking small to big actions. Then it also consists of supporters. We have supporters in Taiwan, Malaysia, Philippines, Bangladesh, Nepal, Latin America, Europe, you name it. What they do is they empower the youth so that they can help us create this concept into reality. And today, I'm not alone in the stage. Someone, a 30 Club member, flew all the way from Taiwan so that she can share a few words about her activity. Daisy Lu, are you here? And then we also have someone all the way from Negros. Sandra, are you here as well? Could you please come up on stage? They'll be sharing about their work. Could we have a round of applause for them, a louder one? Because I think it will get louder after you hear about your work. So I'll start with you, Daisy. Daisy has been a 30 Club member for a while, but she also works for the support organization in Taiwan. So Daisy, tell us about your work. So I know you're doing the 30 Doers. I know you have been organizing different camps for Taiwanese youth. So can you please share what you do?
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Professor Yunus, moderator, and all friends. My name is Daisy, and I'm from Taiwan. I'm honored to be here, and I would like to share my journey. I first learned about the 3-zero vision when I was in university. At that time, my classmates and I started a 3-zero club. We care about the 3-zero vision and children's education. So we went to elementary school and held sustainability camps. From this experience, we have the children learn about environmental protection, and I learned about the 3-zero vision is not only a big global vision. It can start from a campus or small activities. The young people do not need to wait until they have many resources. They can do what they have. In my senior year, I went to Cambodia as an international volunteer. I taught local students computer and Chinese skills. This journey helped me know that education is more than sharing knowledge. It can change a person's life and is closely connected to visual appointments in the 3-zero vision. After graduation, I joined the Foundation for Yunus Social Business Taiwan. I changed from a young participant to a person to support young people. As our foundation, I found that many young people care about social issues, but sometimes they do not know where to solve. So this is why I think the youth empowerment is important. One example is 3-zero dual program. Through this program, we encourage the students start from their campuses. They can form a 3-zero club and observe the social issues they care about, work as a team to develop the social action plans, such as beach cleanup and food sharing events. To support them, we work with a startup organization team from Taiwan called LIFUND, LIFUND. It is one of the winning team of the Taiwan Yunus Social Business Innovation Award. What does LIFUND do? It's built an online crowdfunding platform to help students raise resources for their social action plan. In the past, when students want to need a raise fund, they often need to do stress fundraising. It took a lot of energy and time, and the results will not be always stable. But now, through the LIFUND platform, they can explain their projects and let more people to see and support their plans action. For me, the 3-zero vision is not only a dream, it is something we build every day. The future of the 3-zero doesn't depend on a big idea. It depends on millions of young people taking small action together. So this is why I believe every young people has the power to make a difference and change. Thank you.
Thank you, Daisy. You have been doing, I know you for the past 1 year and you've been doing amazing. Can we have Sandra come in as well? So Sandra works in our support organization, NWTF, and they have been working for the past 2 years, and they made more than 100 clubs in the whole of Philippines. So a round of applause for that. And they've been also doing events continuously and sharing the vision all around the country. So Sandra, over to you.
Thank you, Ankita. So good afternoon, everyone. NWTF started to build the Philippine network of 30 clubs a few years ago. We visit communities and partner with schools, local government units, and the Department of Education to talk to students about creating a world of 3 zeros. To date, we have 180 registered clubs nationwide. These 30 clubs spearhead their own activities that lead to solutions addressing social and environmental challenges. And WTF's pitch up events where the youth present their innovations and we fund the chosen projects and mentor them. To date, 45 projects have been funded. Through our content creation summit, our youth develop their skills in storytelling, digital media, and content creation that it may lead to pathways for livelihood and their advocacies. We also conducted a youth empowerment camp that developed 31 emerging leaders. Tomorrow is the first leg of our three-part 30 Club Philippine Convention entitled Youth Leads 3, Shaping the Future Through Purpose, Innovation, and Social Action. It will be in Bago City with 400 participants. The other 2 legs will be in July 11 in Cagayan de Oro and July 25 in Batangas. Our impact are our youth engaged in the world around them, taking interest in what is going on in their community and issues they see. To echo what our youth has declared in the testimonial video that was entirely made by them, 0 is not an absence, 0 is a commitment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Daisy and Sandra. Like they said, Philippines is organizing 3 events, the 30 Club Convention, 3 this time, all over the country. And we're in Bangladesh, we're organizing 1. So you see how dedicated they are to the mission. But my next step is, excuse that. A lot of you did not raise your hands. We do have a stall, and we do have more than 10 30 clubs present here. Take a moment, talk to them, see what this is all about. You'll be inspired by what the youth can do all around the world. So this is just a small step, and I hope we can actually create a world of 3 zeros. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chris, for that wonderful presentation. Next, we have something super interesting as well. I would like to welcome on stage Mr. Imadul Islam, Senior Research Fellow of Ocean Policy Research Institute, the Sakawa Peace Foundation, who will be presenting the collaboration between the Sakawa Peace Foundation as well as Yunus Center on sustainable ocean management planning and the promotion of blue economy. Can we have a round of applause, please?
Thank you so much. Yeah. On behalf of Sasakawa Peace Foundations, I must say thank you to Professor Mohammad Yunus on triple celebration on his 85th birthday and 50 years anniversary of Grameen Bank and 20 years anniversary of his Nobel Peace Prize. It's such a pleasure moment for us, and our foundations is based on the Tokyo for congratulate for his wisdom and shining the world. So I would like to start with some of very important issues in the world that with the start of one comment, it's from David Attenborough. He delivered a very powerful speech that after almost 100 years on the planet, I now understand the most important place on earth is not land, it's sea. With this, we actually, in the Japanese way, call ocean is the mother of life. So why it is actually? Because the life began in the ocean is the 3.5 billion years ago, and it's also called the cradle of biodiversity. It's a climate regulator because absorb almost 90% of Earth excess heat, and also it's provided us almost 3 billion people job and our life and livelihood. So there's another narrative. It's called that the ocean is not just a body of water, it's the bloodstream of the global economy. So if you see that as this social business day, the Professor Mohammed Yunus and his peace ideas is in the fracture world, you see it's totally depend on the geopolitics in the oceans. Even in the Hormuz Strait, Malacca Strait, Indian Oceans, and different parts of the world is totally aligned with the oceans. So because it's a bloodstream of the economy. So if you would like to do something regarding the exit welfare for the society, it totally depends on and to working on the oceans. With this, in Bangladesh, actually we have a very big ocean, it's called the Bay of Bengal, and it's also the part of the Indian Ocean, sometimes we call the Great Middle Bay. It's about the more than 2.2 billion population in the Indian Ocean, but one of the main oceans in this parameter is the Bay of Bengal, which combines the population near about the 2 billion, of which almost the 40% they are living in the shoreline within the 400 meters, and they are the vulnerable in the many ways. And the Professor Mohammed Yunus and his visions actually fully align with it. And he, during his period in the interim government, he tried to promote the ideas how can we use our Bay of Bengal resources more perfectly for ensuring the welfare and sustainability for this 2 billion populations. But there the main narratives now emerged again in the new world order. The sea is undergoing its historic transformations, and maritime geography in once again became central to global power, economics, peace, technology, traditional and non-traditional security. So since the vision of 3.0, and we are also talking about this in the academia, that triple planetary crisis, but we would like to add another item with the triple planetary crisis like climate change, pollution, biodiversity loss, and we would also like to add that the expansion of the artificial intelligence. This is directly relevant to the, again, next disaster in the climate change. So we have the Sasakawa Peace Foundation. As I talked, that is a individual in very independent foundations, and we have our mother foundation is a Nippon Foundation, and we have another Tokyo Foundation. So we are working in all over the world in the different approach. We call the Sasakawa style public diplomacy. We are also nurturing the leaders of the futures, but we have one of the core priorities called realization of peaceful world through the oceans. Under this, at the very beginning of this month, our mother foundation, Nippon Foundation, hosted the Island Ocean Summit with the IOC UNESCO, and almost the 40 countries head of the state was there. And we are defining the new goal for the ocean welfare under the 3 pillars. So one of the pillars is about it's called sustainable ocean planning management. With this, we are very much fortunate that our Honorable Nobel laureate Professor Mohammed Yunus, he got the chances to visit in the Japan in our foundation. It's called Harmony by Design, the Asian Conference. And we are very much energized by his philosophy. And also during his regime, our foundation got the chances to collaborate with the Bangladesh government. The first time we did Memorandum of Understanding with the Mahashkali Integrated Development Initiative. This is the economic zone that was funded by the Japan for the promotion of the sustainable blue economy in Bangladesh. So I must thank you to sir. It's totally his idea, and we tried to capitalize it. And we are now working on the MIDA and Bangladesh government. It's all because of you. And we are also providing the Sasakawa Fellow Scholarship for the whole of the world. and also we tried to give the blue economy toolbox. The major point, how can we actually collaborate with the SAR idea? As I mentioned that it's about like that 2 billion population in these South Asias, and their welfare, their trade is totally depends on the oceans. So SAR's ideas is the blue entrepreneurship. Our foundation is very much interested with his Yunus Center, particularly the Grameen University, to create a center in here. It could be at the hub for the knowledge for the next level to create the human resources and blue-based entrepreneurship in the South Asian regions. So that's all, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity here.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for such a generous introduction. And thank you so much for the opportunity that you have given us to speak here today and tell us about our story. Our story begins in 2015, while we were just college sophomores. At that time, that story was mostly characterized by me, Qasim, and my partner, Josefa, driving around in Qasim's old rundown Prius with no money, no plan, but almost always a trunk full of food. You can see that is the very same Prius, these three students with no plan, but food full of, a trunk full of food. You see, the reason that why we were doing so is that was because we were inspired by our mother. Our mother had been running a soup kitchen in her home for the past 30 years. And every day we had seen loads of people come into our home for food. But contrasting, on the other side, we had seen in our campuses, in our universities, and in restaurants around us, loads of food being wasted. So we decided to do something about it. We decided that we will take the most illogical step that we can think of, and at the same time, the most simplest one. We decided to make a Facebook page. And we just put our numbers on the Facebook page and said, if anybody has any food left over, do not throw it away. Call us, we'll come down and collect it. That single Facebook page, we never knew it at that time, but it would spark a movement. And it sparked a movement where hundreds of students from various universities across Pakistan began to run their own food security and food rescue missions. Somewhere down the line, we realized that we need to evolve from a volunteer organization. And hence, we started to make investing in our own fleets. We made customized rickshaws and branded them as rickshaws. It was a clever play of words, just to really motivate students and really motivate the general audience to do not waste food. And slowly, as we were addressing the food wastage problem, we realized that the urban food nutrition problem in Pakistan could not be addressed by using food wastage alone. We needed to really invest in the urban nutrition systems. And we realized at that point in time that in Pakistan, there is no structured network of food banks. So hence, we did just that. We created Pakistan's first network of food banks, scaled up to 30 food banks in almost 1.5 years across some of the most heavily populated cities within Pakistan. And for the next couple of years, we thought that we were right on track. We thought that we had, cracked the problem, we had given the solution, and we thought we were feeding more people and it was progress. All good. However, 2019 came with something else. It came with the pandemic. And in that pandemic, the entire supply chains collapsed. As the entire supply chains collapsed, food inflation started to rise. With food inflation starting to rise, our entire financial modeling just got messed up. We became more dependent on aid just to survive. And to compound onto that, 1 year later, in 2022, Pakistan was struck by one of its most devastating floods, where 1/4 of our entire land mass was submerged in water. That again really pushed our rural setups or rural food ecosystems down in destitution. And we realized that, oh, we need to do something that is not just based on donation, but because you cannot use donations to solve a structural problem. So we realized, what do? We researched and researched and researched. And funnily enough, we came back to our economics class, Dev 101, where we first read about Professor Yunus. Shockingly, if we had paid attention in class earlier, we would have gotten to the solution earlier. But I believe life has its own path, and we needed to have that journey, and we needed to realize all of these lessons to really see the value in what the Grameen model taught about and what the social business model taught about. And hence, we decided that, okay, we need to study it more. And with that, we should move on to the next story.
Thank you so much, Musa. So I got this unique opportunity of doing this professional master's program hosted by the Yunus Center at AIT, social business master's program with entrepreneurship. So it was a very one of its kind master's program, which required me to pursue a master's thesis in and developing a social business, which later led me to develop our first social business in which we started working for access to affordable and nutritious food. So right now we have a first food business in which we have 25 branches operational. We have sold 2 million meals and we have seen cost savings by 30%. We sell dal chawal, which is a national comfort food. And while working towards the end of the supply chain, we started thinking, where does the food grow? And then it led us to the food production and the start of the food supply chain. We started to work with the smallholder farmers, which represent the 90% of the farming community of Pakistani population. And we provide them access to finance, access to inputs, access to market advisory, and market linkages. So now we are working with 2,500 farmers spread across 11,000 acres and developed this second social business called the Kisan Dost program, which literally means a farmer-friendly program. And we are working across critical value chains of wheat, rice, maize, sesame, and alfalfa. And while working in the Pakistani agricultural landscape, we saw a lot of Pakistani land underutilized and wasted. Hence, we wanted to utilize that opportunity and started developing this barren land. And now we have developed this third social business in which we have developed the largest fodder farm of Pakistan, which is for 3,000 acres, which has a production capacity of 30,000 tons annual. And we are working across roach grass and alfalfa and exporting the produce for the Gulf region. And the overall impact of the organization, so we have fed over 20 million meals, we have saved 2 kgs of excess food, we have impacted 12 million people, and we have invested $10 million in both social business projects and charitable projects. And we have a national footprint across 50 plus countries in Pakistan.
Yeah, but that's not all. Because we were so inspired by the social business model and because we resonated with it so much, we thought that we should bring the lessons of this to the entire Pakistani nation. And obviously, we needed to build a social business ecosystem within Pakistan for that. Because as you say, one success story isn't enough. Pakistan, with the range of problems that it has, it needs multiple of these stories. So first, what we are doing right now is that we already have a huge volunteer base, around 8,000 plus members that have been working with us for the past decade or so in various projects, from food rescue missions to urban food security challenges to assisting farmers in disaster relief. So what we're trying to do right now is convert this volunteer force, which is filled with exuberance and compassion, and really teach them on social business principles so that they can now come towards more sustainable solutions. And that's not all. We realized that not a lot of us, particularly people and students that live within the periphery of Pakistan, that are taught by some of the universities that are in the periphery of Pakistan, in the north or in the extreme south, they also need to be exposed to these ideas. And for them to be exposed to these ideas, it is very necessary that we teach the faculty that are teaching them about social business. In that particular regard, we partnered with HEC in Pakistan, we partnered with UNODC and the Yunus Center at AIT to develop a program which was first of its kind, where we had 25 public sector universities represented and upwards of 45 deans, professors, and teachers for whom we designed a faculty development program on how to integrate social business education within our curriculum with an immersive that took them to Thailand at Yunus Center at AIT. And finally, we realized that, okay, it is very necessary to go beyond just education. We need to advocate for social business in all sectors of life. And that is why me and Qasim, when we first stepped on foot at the Social Business Day, we got really inspired. And we thought this is a lesson that we need to bring to other organizations, because I believe a lot of organizations in Pakistan already are working within a similar lens. Perhaps they do not have the same language or nomenclature. So maybe just introducing that to them, that can create a huge impact. And that's the journey, right? So the journey is that we have been a growing presence at the Social Business Day. So it was one, Qasim was alone in 2023. I joined him in 2024. We had a few more bunch of friends, at 2025, and today I believe we're the second largest delegation in social business here today. So that just goes to show the idea, the power of an idea, the power of social business, and I believe it is one of the most practical solutions to the world's problems at hand. And our story is not over because you are that reason. You are the reason that we are standing over here. You're the reason we have scaled up to 50 cities. You're the reason that we have scaled into multi-dimensional organization, not just working on food security, but across the entire value chain. And honestly, we would not have been able to do that without a social business model and without meeting a very inspiring man in DevEcon 101 when we call it sophomores. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Professor Yunus.
Thank you so much for that lovely presentation. Next, we have a lovely bunch of series of presentation that demonstrates how international collaboration can create meaningful opportunities for employment, skills development, healthcare, and inclusive economic growth. Together, these initiatives highlight the growing partnership between Bangladesh and Japan. So please give me a round of applause while we introduce Mr. Suniaki Hirao, President of Japan Action Tanks Association. Could we have a round of applause, please?
Hello, everyone. My name is Hirao. I'm learning Japan Auto Mechanic School here in Dhaka since 2012 with Gravin Sikka as a social business. We teach Japanese language and automatic skill to young Bangladeshi people coming from disadvantaged family. After 1 year training, they go to Japan as an auto mechanic. Currently, there are many young Bangladeshi people working in Japan. Today, I'd like to introduce the new social business project under the leadership of Professor Yunus. Okay. Last year, the Professor Yunus visited Japan as a chief advisor and had a nice meeting with the Japanese Prime Minister Ishiba at the time. Bangladesh and the Japan government signed on the MOU, and Bangladesh will send 1 lakh of people to Japan to cover the shortage of the Japanese labor force. Okay. Government provide the national nursing school for the caregiver training, while Japan Action Tank provide the Japanese language training and the caregiver training. Currently, you can see the bottom from left-hand side, Grameen Caledonian College of Nursing, Shei Bangla Nursing College. Now we have 2 schools with 100 students. And then we will open the Chittagong school very soon. Okay, Japan Action Tank provides a 1 year training to the student. Student will not pay training tuition fee. Employers in Japan will cover such cost for the student to go to Japan. Under this program, young people will go to Japan without debt. We call it zero debt model. Under the zero debt model, primary purpose will be given to the young people from disadvantaged backgrounds. Since Japan Action Tank is non-profit organization, it shall not pursue any profit. The project is run as a social business. Okay. And this shows the maximum quota of the SSW workers in Japan. Currently, Japanese government provides a SSW visa for the 19 industries. Each industry has its maximum quota. Unfortunately, restaurant workers already reached its maximum quota. Okay, let me explain the situation in Japan. SSW market in Japan has become highly competitive. Many countries now send SSW workers to Japan. SSW worker can leave and take another job position from day one of their employment period. That's why employers see this as a significant risk in hiring them. Bangladesh very new to this market with very limited presence. Bangladesh are not well known to the Japanese, unfortunately, except Professor Yunus. Bangladesh SSW workers need to show their commitment to the employer that number one, they are loyal workers, and number two, work for long period of years. Definitely from the experience, I understand the Bangladesh people have a good loyalty to the company. Average, they can receive the monthly salary 2 lakh, and their net income will be the 1 lakh taka. That is the monthly initial salary. Now, here, let me introduce our Japan Auto Mechanic graduate. He graduated our school 4 years ago, and now he's working in Japan. Voice,
I
please.
am Bangladeshi and auto mechanic working in Japan. I'm graduated from Japan Auto Mechanic School. 4 years ago, I came to Japan, and since then, I'm working in a Japanese company. While working in the company, I studied hard and passed National Auto Mechanic license. With the license, now I can change my visa status from specified skilled worker to regular employee, which means I can stay and work in Japan infinitely. And also I am able to bring my family in Japan to live with me. Through studying and finding the opportunity to work in Japan, my life has changed dramatically. I take the opportunity to thank Japan Auto Mechanic School and also want to encourage the young people now watching my message to study and work hard to find your own success in Japan.
Thank you. And thank you. He earned a lot of money, and recently Mahido learned the Japanese language school in Birpur as a second business. Okay, look at this picture. Do you remember yesterday's Professor Yunus story? Okay, now you can see the bonsai in your left-hand side with a container, small one. Okay, Mahido was the bonsai guy before joining the Japan Auto Mechanic School. But after he had a chance to go to Japan, now he became a big tree. That is a success story, right? Okay, this is a bonsai story. Okay, so finding job opportunity in Japan through social business is fantastic. Okay, we want to solve the social issue, both Bangladesh and Japan at the same time. Okay, that is our purpose. By taking this opportunity, I'd like to say a special thank you to Professor Yunus-san, and Ramia-san, and Ashraf-san, and Nurjahan-san. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's always a pleasure to join the Social Business Day family, even if this year I will have to do it through a screen. I promise to all of you that I would be much rather be with all of you, especially for the food. But like I'm trying to pretend that I'm with you. I have my hot sauce. I'm putting it everywhere in coffee, in things, in food. Just to think that I'm in Bangladesh. When I was asked to talk about Yunus France in Action, I thought about all the projects that we could mention, but then I realized something. Yunus France is less about the project than it is about the people that we are accompanying. Like those people, like in the same philosophy as the Grameen philosophy, the Nabin philosophy. We look at people that have talent, but not always people who already have the courage to become entrepreneurs, but sometimes they need more than just a small support. They need the economic oxygen to keep them going. And we know that that's been always the spirit of the Yunus movement, right? And today what I would like to do is to share two stories that represent where we are going without going into too much details of all the things that we're doing. So the first one is Nobin, Senegal. Maybe some of you know about the Begnala program in Dakar. The Begnala program in Dakar is a program where over the past years, we've been training more than 2,500 women in entrepreneurship and financial literacy, together with more than 20 incredible local partners and with the L'Oreal Foundation. And it's actually quite important to note that we're working with the L'Oreal Foundation just because I'm worth it. Hundreds of us have gone through incubation. Dozens have already been growing their businesses, and we recently completed an impact evaluation that is showing just how transformational this journey has been. However, something kept bothering us. Training is wonderful, but training alone does not build a business, right? The biggest barrier often comes afterwards, right? When we're talking about access to finance. So we continue to fundraise. Even though we had this program running at scale, we decided that we needed to fundraise, and we searched again globally with a lot of foundations, development banks, and all the funders that you may think about. Until one day, our friends from Grameen Trusts, Machin in particular, they told us to look next door with the Grameen Credit Agricole Foundation. And since then, we've been working with Véronique, Philippe, Vincent, and the rest of the team at Grameen Credit Agricole Foundation. We have not only committed €500,000 to get the program started and get the first investment into the Senegalese women, but are also working day in, day out with us to support us to build the first Novin program in West Africa, in French Africa too. So this year, with these partners, we're going to launch Novin Senegal. And hopefully next year we'll have a lot to do and to say about it. Instead of saying, congratulations, now good luck after this program, we can finally say congratulations, now let's build a business together. So for us, this is a huge milestone because we are connecting education, incubation, and financing into just one continuous journey, just exactly as Professor Yunus has always envisioned for the Novin program, right? And the second story that I want to talk about is also Novin, but Novin France this time. A lot of people ask us, like, why do you want to launch Novin in France? France is already a developed country. There's already microcredit with ADI there. Like, there's a lot of organizations supporting entrepreneurs. Well, yes, but again, as you know, in many other countries, poverty, exclusion, and invisible entrepreneurs, they also exist. And in particular, you have people in neighborhoods where many of them have incredible business ideas, but they don't necessarily fit into the traditional system. And that includes systems that have been over the last years, over the last decades, with ADI and other great social innovations that have been created in France. And they're still holding the racket. So we've been working with the Seine-Saint-Denis department, which is one of the poorest local area in France, one of the poorest government, and together with local organizations, we're trying to understand what is missing, what are the needs of the people, why and how should we support the Novin model, right? Not necessarily as it is, but trying to adapt it to French reality and to the Cincinnati reality. So we've spent a lot of time with Grameen Trust. We've spent a lot of time actually with Grameen America to understand what they were doing different in a developed country. And this year, finally, we are launching tiny pilots, very tiny pilots, 5 women entrepreneurs that we are going to accompany with the support from BNP Paribas and the Department of Seine-Saint-Denis to just get started and create a business case to show how the no-bin model works and how we can adapt it to the French ecosystem. So these are the 2 stories that I wanted to talk about. Of course, beyond those 2 stories, Yunus France continues to strengthen the wider social system. We've been working with universities, young people, supporting the 3-0 Club movement. We've developed a capacity building program in Europe and Latin America, and we've strengthened our fundraising efforts to try to get from just a club of social business in France to something that is actually operating programs, hopefully supporting the transition and supporting the replication of some of the programs that have been created in Bangladesh in collaboration with Grameen Trust, of course, and in collaboration with Yunus at all times. So just to summarize and to conclude, whenever I come to Business Day, I don't feel like I'm attending a conference. I feel like I'm coming to a family reunion, a slightly nerdy family that gets excited about social business model, but a family nonetheless. And that feeling is really giving us energy throughout the year. So I'm really envious of you out there that are attending the social business days. So a big thank you to Professor Yunus, a big thank you to Center to organize it once again. It's a lot of work. And thank you to all of you who continue to prove that there is another way of doing business, and that's not only possible, but it's actually already happening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yuan, for coming in online. Next, we have something super interesting and creative. Art has a unique ability to inspire empathy, shift perspectives, and encourage action. For the language of art, a tool for awareness and change, please welcome Ms. Paola Zamogia to show how art can become a powerful catalyst for social awareness and positive change. Can we have a round of applause, please?
Good morning, good afternoon, everybody, and happy birthday again, Professor Yunus. And it's a great honor to participate once again in the Social Business Day. I would like to congratulate Professor Yunus, a true man of peace, whose work continues to inspire our activities every day. Today, we are delighted to celebrate not only his birthday, but also the remarkable milestones that make this occasion even more special. We are an Italian group of artists working on projects focused on Goal 1, 8, and 10 of the UN 2030 Agenda. Throughout our performances, we address issues such as human dignity, health, and occupational safety, promoting greater awareness of social justice and inclusion. Please, slide number 2. We are aware that many people in the world are still unfamiliar with Professor Yunus' work. For this reason, we have decided to support and promote his message through the universal language of art. In 2019, we staged our multimedia chamber orchestra opera, $27, really inspired by the book Banker to the Poor. Thank you. Professor Yunus, together with Enzo and Dominique, honored us with their presence at the premiere in the beautiful Italian theater. Their support meant a lot to us, it strengthened our dreams, and encouraged us to continue planting social seeds through arts. Since 2020, in a COVID moment, we have been producing short films inspired by the themes of his book, A World of Three Zeros, using a communication tool that is accessible, engaging, and easy to share. To date, we have participated in more than 300 events presenting our short films to citizens, institutions, universities, and local communities. To connect with the significance of today's celebrations, we would like to share memories from our artistic and emotional journey. We are pleased to present a really brief excerpt from the premiere performance on our opera, $27. Before showing the video, we would like to thank everyone who is part of the great Yunus family and all those people who coordinate and support the Yunus centers around the world. And above all, we would like to express our deepest gratitude to Professor Yunus. Thank you for everything you have done and continue to do to make our world a better, inclusive, and peaceful place. Now, please enjoy the video. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the lovely presentation, Ms. Sadia. Next up, we have a super exciting segment. It's a bit of a surprise, so I can't tell you much. It's a big and exciting announcement with a very grand celebration is all I can say right now. But what better way to kick it off but with a fantastic video. Can we have the video up on the screen? And I encourage everybody to pay attention to the screens now.
Right in Manila on this particular 14th Social Business Day. And very happy that the team is on the screen and Tobias could come fly in from Berlin and to attend this ceremony. So with this, I launched the company Sukhi. Can you say Sukhi with me? All together, Sukhi. Long one. Thank you.
the group chairman here, and the person who had this dream, and now we are waving flag of 5 millions. Could you have you all on the stage? Sir Mohd Ashraful Hassan and Professor Mohd Yunus on the stage, please.
Requesting everyone to also wave your flags. Let's join in on the celebration. Requesting everyone to keep waving your flags. Let's make this a real big celebration.
So we'll request the music to be on if possible.
Can we have the music? Can we have the music? Waving flag.
Requesting the music to be turned back on. Let's make this a big celebration.
Waving flag.
Sir, I hereby hand over you the flag of 5 million bays of Shuki. That's yours. A big round of applause, please. A big round of applause, please. Thank you, sir. Any comments from you? What about your dream that is coming a little bit of true?
Well, we've been talking about
Guys,
numbers. All the time we're coming up with numbers and how to achieve those numbers. Suddenly the company is formed. How many years company now?
16 months.
16 months only.
Exactly, sir. 28th of November 2024.
Okay, 16 months. That's it. So we are all talking about starting small and take small steps and go forward. That's what we try to do. This one took a small step, then start jumping. Is that what you're doing? Are you feeling safe? Of course.
So, sir, I want you to hand this flag to our chairman and your expectation to him for the next SPG.
Okay. He's changing the topic now. Okay, you have to hold it.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Good. So that's a number. It's a big jump. But we have to be very careful how we make those jumps so that we stay there, we don't move. So today, this is 2026, right? And you have achieved 5 million. Let's celebrate that 5 million first. Give big applause. Now, what happens next year or next year? When is the 10 million though?
So you can ask me.
Okay, when is the 10 million?
Thank you. Good afternoon. I think lot of team member is here from Shuki. So I congratulate my team to achieve this incredible number. Can we stand up, please? Have a big hand for them. You come on the stage, please. All the blues. So, okay. Can you tell what is 5 million, the number? What is it? Arman, please.
Hello. So till now, 5 million people has come to this app and they have used the service. As we speak today, there are 4 million active bays who are currently in Shuki app and they're using the service. So this 5 million that we had till since inception, and now we have 4 million, and we will actually excel. And if you will be happy to know, sir, more than 85% are from the bottom of the pyramid. So have actually addressed the digital divide for the healthcare system in Bangladesh. 5 million are the paid customers. So yes, so they are paid customer. We get the subscription from them. Previously, we used to charge only 20 taka per consultation, which is now 50 taka. They take the laboratory on the go service, they take the caregiver service, and they also take the ambulance service, they take the blood bank service, but mostly they take the online consultancy. And very recently, as you have seen, we have launched the authentic medical health store. So now they are getting authentic medicine at their doorsteps. In Dhaka city, best case 1 hour. Within Dhaka city, express delivery 3 hours, and all over the country within 3 days. We also launched it globally, so the non-resident Bangladeshis who are actually living abroad, they are also taking their service all over the world, from Europe, from the US, from Middle East, from Africa, from all over the world. So this is actually the part and parcel of Sushi currently. And thank you so much to the team who has actually made it come true. I would request the last round of applause for the team, the winning team that we are having here. Just a huge round of applause. Special applause from Shihab with the sunglass, please.
So now we need to answer the question of the what will be the number for next SBTs. Can I say, oh, it is a very less. It should be 15. No way. So then 10. Oh, you agreed on 10? So next 1 year we'll reach the 10 million, including this 5 million. Thank you, sir.
So that's the promise you're making next 2008, right? So that's the commitment you put back. Well, congratulations. Let's give a final applause for them so that they make it good, right? And come back next year to tell us the story. How did it go? Thank you. Thank you very much. Congratulations. So up for 10 million. Get ready. Okay, let's go. Thank you. Very good. Well done. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. To be mindful and respectful towards the vision of the conference and our time, I would like to start by saying the format of this conversation that we are going to have. I would like to start with a high-level question and have remarks for a couple of minutes from all of you, and then I'll come to you with specific questions. Professor Yunus, over decades, you have argued that every human being is born as an entrepreneur. Yet most education systems continue to prepare students to become job seekers. If you were designing an education, I know you are already designing one, a university, what would you build differently to prepare students for a world of 3 zeros? Sir, can you hear me? No? You can't hear me? Team, none of my speakers can hear me. Can we check? Can we check, please? Is it better if I use the hand mic? Is it better if I use the hand mic? Can you hear me? So the problem is the lapel. Anyways, it's okay, it can stay. Professor Yunus, for decades, you've argued that every human being is born as a creative entrepreneur, yet most education systems continue to prepare students to become job seekers. Since you are designing a university, what would you build differently to prepare our young people to become job creators?
Hello. Okay. Well, we don't have to prepare anybody actually, because I am saying that naturally they are job
creators. They are not job seekers. So you are simply helping them what their natural tendency is, rather than give something artificially imposed on them, which is a job. People are not born to find a job. People born to express themselves. And he is packed this capacity inside of the person. And that's what the human being is all about. And I was kind of pushing that forward by saying a human being is the most amazing creative being in the whole world, with endless capacity to explore, to define, to see the world in his or her way and make things happen. And that's what the exploration of little babies start with. That exploration continues. But somehow we intervene in the process by calling something education, a training or something that interrupt the basic nature of a human child, how he or she grow up. So to answer your question, it's not something that we have to design. Simply go along with the nature, how nature helps the person and so on. So how to make it happen, we don't have an answer yet. All we can do, explore how to make the natural human being natural path. This is the direction that we explore. And that's where initiatives that we'll be hearing probably during this discussion, exploration path. We learn from each other and see which way is really moving. And I was giving the example of Al-Bukhari International University, which started as a social business university. But it didn't say that we'll be producing job creators. Itself is a social business, but it has to find out how the young people will take the shape of an entrepreneur. Because in the process, you have to undo something. When you come to the university level, you have already damaged a person from the childhood. So you're using a damaged person, trying to give him a new kind of worldview. Who am I? What am I supposed to do? How can we do that? And that natural creativity is already completely destroyed. Now we are trying to fix it, which is a difficult task of fixing. So I would rather say that from day one, the child would be somebody who will be discovering himself and herself in a natural way, a system that we'll build around her to help facilitate, to see the natural tendencies go in a natural path and do things in the way he or she feels comfortable with. That's the creativity part of it. That's the imaginating part of it. And that's what imagination is, something that will be triggering into the mind that you, and you will pay respect that what imagination child is coming with. Child will say something, oh, rubbish, get it out. This is something wrong. We discourage them rather than encourage the natural child to express in the natural way how he or she do, or together, in the same age groups, how they would like to do things. When they do play, figure out their own playthings, this is again interaction among themselves and a natural way of their interacting with each other to achieve some goal. They define a goal and try to achieve this goal. So that's what our efforts should be. We are just touching the first ground, that how we make a start. The starting point is something that we'll be discussing here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Can I have a very short follow-up question? One huge round of applause, as you were doing. Sir, a very short follow-up question on this. What responsibility do today's young people have in creating that world?
I don't want to impose everything on the young people. This is a collective responsibility, all human being, how to fix this direction. And I was saying that we have to find out, as a pilot of this ship, that the Earth is, what is the destination that we have? So that destination has to be defined collectively, individually, and each one will be debating, discussing. This is our direction that we want to take as something, our achievement, our goal would be to reach that. That's why in our case of Grameen University, we put kind of a definition of some kind of that direction or of that destination. We said Grameen University dedicated to create a world of 3 zeros. So there is some definition of what, this is a preliminary one, somebody said there's a better one. So we'll have to replace that. But to begin with, this is what we want to achieve. So we have some destination defined, a very deep one, because it addresses almost all the terrible things that is happening to the planet are included into it. Zero carbon emission, zero wealth concentration, zero unemployment. So these three are very basic to the evil of this planet, how we have done. We have destroyed the civilization, which will help human being to rise above all the problems, rather than we dump them into the problem themselves.
Thank you so much, sir. So yesterday we have heard about the vision of Grameen University, and today you have clearly mentioned what kind of expectation you have for the young people. Basically, nothing much to impose on them, rather encouraging them to be creative and think about the world that they want to create. So let me now go back to Professor Dr. Muhammad Saleh Zafar. You already run a university that is entirely based on social business principles. In one way, we hear from academics that universities should create employable graduates. On the other side, you are promoting entrepreneurship, innovation. They're creating 3-0 clubs. So how does that practice look differently at your campus?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you very much for the question. And first of all, thank you very much to the organizers of this Social Business Day for inviting us to share our experience at Al-Bukhari International University. We are truly honored to be with the panel of Nobel laureate and the other respective panel that we have here today. It is quite obvious university education is becoming more challenging day after day. For a very simple reason that we are educating the children for the futures that sometimes we don't even know. Probably the job market that will not even exist. So this is actually a huge challenge amongst the university leaders to prepare the graduates for the future that yet to be known, yet to be established. And at Al-Bukhari International University, we are very fortunate to be introduced early on with Professor Yunus himself. We are a very small university indeed. We started to take our students in 2018 with only 25 students. And now we have grown, after 6 years, we have grown into 2,000 students. And the students coming from all over the world, given 100% scholarships by the Al-Bukhari Foundations. And the very model that Al-Bukhari International University would like to emulate is how the founder himself evolved from being school children, from being students at the school and becoming a successful entrepreneurs or successful business that he is today. I probably want to take this opportunity to share a little bit about how this university even established. The founder himself didn't actually have university education. He couldn't even afford to pay for the school fees to take examinations. And that moment onwards gave him a realization that says no future children will face similar circumstances like he did. But then he went into small trading, being a young boy at the age of 18 and 19. And this is where the inspiring stories starts, which is actually started about 50 years ago. After he got the first income from the trading, which is about 1,500 ringgit, he listened to his mother's advice. What was the advice? The advice was, if you have little, you give little. If you have more, you give more. From the first salary that he received, he give out 50% of what he took to 13 families around his village. And the initiative continued until today, until he was able to build a university for the underprivileged. And the reason I'm relating to this is that it's very, very important for us to produce students who are job creators. They are not going to be job seekers. And how do we do it? And our education model is inspired, obviously, by the social business philosophy as proposed by Professor Yunus himself. So we have this embedded in our education curriculum, education system, that we have actually built in social business modules for every single students on our campus. Meaning to say, if you do computer science, if you do education, or if you do many other field of studies, social business will be a compulsory modules for every single student. So we have 2 modules on social business. And how do we actually do that? We obviously, we teach the students, we encourage the students to address the global challenges and poverty through social innovation, social business, through engagement with the communities. So every single students now, by the time they graduate, they will be exposed to social business and social innovation. But not only that, we have probably the largest percentage of student population that is registered as 3-0 clubs. I think, this action-oriented that hopefully leads into social innovation and later on social enterprise. So, sometimes we say that many different Yunus business centers around the globe, around the universities, but really Al-Bukhari International University, the whole university is a Yunus business center itself, because the whole module, the whole arrangement of our curriculums and studies are centered around Yunus Business Center. But one thing we'd like to share also, besides this social business and 3-0 action plan, the university basically have 3, what we call as DNA. Of course, the first DNA is a 3 zeros and social business. That is our DNA. So if you go through our system, this is what you're going to get. And the other DNA will be what we call as 8-hour rules. So 8-hour rules is simply saying that, we spend 1/3 of our time for the students' time to study, and 1/3 to sleep and rest, and 1/3 to go and make the difference in the life of others. Basically go to the communities, engage with them, understanding their issues and challenges, and try to help them solving their issues. So this is 8-hour rule implemented for our school children, and this is made easier because our campus is 100% residential. And the third DNA would be what we call as 5A core values, and this is very, very important because we believe that knowledge alone, technology alone is not enough. Sometimes with knowledge and technology, there are so many things we can do with it. With the technology, you can go and kill people. With technology, you can send, with a simple request, you can send missiles anywhere. But the fact that we can doesn't mean we should. The fact that we are able to do it doesn't mean we need to do it. So the concept of humanity-centered education is extremely important, and therefore the 5A core values is becoming the center of our education. What are the 5 A's? Basically, Aqidah, Akhlaq, Adab, Amanah, and Amalan. We can, you're invited to learn a little bit more about our way of putting these values to our students. So, so we hope through these methods of educating, basically the community is our university's place. The students are immersive into the communities and also immersive into the industries. Probably we are a little bit more fortunate than many other universities because we are being supported by Al-Bukhari group of companies are having businesses ranging from ports, airports, logistics, plantations, hospitalities, many other areas, and therefore our students would have much greater interactions with the industries, and therefore they can actually learn from the industries right from the very beginning. In fact, the way we design our module is that the students will be able to learn the real problems the industries are actually facing, and they are going to provide solutions along with the corporate sector, along with those experts in the industry. So our students would develop their projects, would develop their final year projects, would develop their internships through this immersive. So we are actually preparing them for the world of for the futures, and also understanding the issues within the industries and also communities. So we hope this will prepare our students better, inshallah.
Thank you, Professor, for sharing these insights. Like Professor said, all of their students actually create 3-0 clubs. And what we have seen in the past 5 years, in 3-0 clubs, it's not just young people. We have 3-0 support persons who are 35-year plus. They're individuals who want to support a 3-0 club. We have academic institutions who support these 3-0 club members. We call them 3-0 affiliating institutions. And each year, we have the 3-0 Club Awards. Since year 1, Al-Bukhari International University has always won this award. And tomorrow we have this year's 3-0 Club Awards. We will see if you have a competition, Professor. Now, moving on to my next guest, Mayor Hashimoto. Just a few months ago, I had the chance to visit Sakai Town with Professor Yunus, and we have seen certain things and practices that you do. Your work and your town is highly appreciated globally for bringing in innovation. So from your experiences and the vision of the future of Sakai Town, please let us know what local governments can do for young people. So government and young people becomes co-creators of their own communities. Yes, it works.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Distinguished Professor Muhammad Yunus, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is Masahiro Hashimoto, Mayor of Sakai Town, Ibaraki, Japan. It is a great honor to be here today. I would like to share one simple message. Even a small town can take on the challenge of changing the world. Sakai Town has a population of only 24,000 people. Many people believe that innovation belongs to large cities. We believe the opposite. Through autonomous driving, English education, urban sports, and international partnership, we have shown that being a rural town is not a limitation. It is an opportunity to connect with the world. These are not simply public projects. They are investments in people and in the future. Professor Yunus has taught us that the purpose of business is not only to make profits, but also to solve social problems. I believe the same is true for local government. Our mission is not only to provide public service. Our mission is to create opportunities. Opportunities for children to dream. Opportunities for young people to challenge themselves. Opportunities for every person to reach their full potential. A child's future should never be determined by where they are born. Every young person should have the opportunity to connect with the world and pass their dreams no matter where they live. And Professor Yunus often says, a better world is possible. Today, I would like to add one more sentence. A better world can begin with one small town. Sakai Town will continue to take bold challenges, create new opportunities through innovation, and contribute to building a better future together.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now I would like to ask my next question to Kate Robertson. Your work, the platform that you have created, One Young World, I know exactly what happens there because I've been there a couple of times, and to all my friends who doesn't know about the platform, One Young World brings together extraordinary young leaders from almost every country on earth. Each year, almost more than 1,000, maybe now 2,000 young people gathers in this platform for 4 days of really creative learning journeys. Kate, from your work, looking across all those years, your experiences, what gives you the greatest hope about this generation of young people? And what concerns you most if institutions fail to evolve alongside them?
You know, because we've shared this together, I have boundless hope in young people around the world. But I'm concerned for them. A brief example, I've just been, as you know, I've just come from my home country in South Africa, where I was with the state president for the commemoration of the June 16th uprisings, 1976. It's 50 years. 52 years later, you went through the same agony, the same insanity here in Bangladesh. So we have to be, those of us who are a little bit older, we have to be concerned for our young people. And to the professor's point, there's just a couple of things I just want to refer to, which are not totally One Young World specific, but you both talked about inspiration. You are our inspiration for all of us being here. So let's just go with inspiration. The idea for social business, 3 zeros is more of a system, but the idea for social business broke glass walls and ceilings. Bankers were telling you what a stupid thing to do. It is a leap of creative genius. When I look at young people around the world today in the education system, it is clear at some stages and in some countries, we're failing for one reason or another. Whether it's stuffy academe, whether it's sticking to the ways of the past, it's always been like that, we'll always keep it like that. It's missing a big dream. It's not saying to the young folk that we educate, whether it's primary, secondary, or tertiary education. It's not saying to them, let creativity thrive. What are your ideas? What's fun? How are we going to do this? What's a plan? That is not part of our systems. And I'm not, with the greatest of respect to both of you, I see it in your systems, I'm sure. But mostly, you don't see this in education anywhere in the world. We think it's there, but it's not there. And this is crazy because I'm sitting here today, slightly sleepy, but seeing inspiration come from Japan. If you look at, this I thought was fantastic. If you look at what the gentleman from WIC was saying, and he referenced manga. So youth revolutions recently, Nepal, Morocco, Peru, all 3 of them. When I'm watching on television and I watch endless newscasts, I keep seeing a funny little banner with a funny little drawing on it. And I'm going, hang on, Peru, Morocco, Nepal, why are these young people seeing the same thing? What is this banner? So I took a screenshot and I looked with AI, what is it? And it's a person called One Piece. Does anyone know One Piece? Yeah, young people. One Piece, yeah? One Piece is the boss of the straw, you know it, is the boss of the Straw Hat Pirates. His emblem on the banner is a skull and crossbones, for those of us who are older, with a straw hat on it. And really, and this is not my political philosophy, they're actually communists. Huh? They're sort of like Robin Hood and his merry men in another time. But here is inspiration that 3 different countries, 3 different communities, completely different languages, issues, young people, as the fallen heroes of Bangladesh, as in Soweto in 76, young people find inspiration in their agony, in their pain. Someone says, here's One Piece, he's the head of the Straw Hat Pirates. And it fuels and supports a youth revolution. Now, you and I know the dire consequences of youth revolution. But this is creativity in the system. So you take manga the way Wicott are suggesting to do it. You take the inspiration of manga, you build it into the education system. You're making it fun. You accept, I don't know about manga. I don't look at that stuff. But we are not being creative in the education system whilst we're hoping that young people suddenly come around the corner firing on all systems on their creativity. So I think there's a huge burden on all of us here to remember, as I have learned from your life story, to remember that inspiration as part of education is not some fluffy woo-woo kind of thing over there. It's the biggest thing. It is the most enormous thing. I carry your story with me everywhere I go, every speech I make, that there has to be inspiration. That inspiration, I had inspiration here today, is all around us. But if we can't look at education as being a cradle for inspiration and creativity, everything we are planning, we are going to fail, is my view.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Now, so much for that again, Kate. Education, entrepreneurship, and technology are often discussed separately, but this generation of young people, they experience this together. It's an interconnected system, and this is where they actually spend most of their time with technology at campuses. And also, if you're an entrepreneur or creative person, these 2 other things are really important for you to take your vision forward. Now, moving on to my friend Nini, you have spent more than 2 decades building programs that support youth-led innovations. In your experience, what is the biggest mistake adult people make while trying to empower them?
Hello.
Yes.
Sorry, what's the biggest mistake
Adult people make
adults make
while they think they empower young people?
when they think they empower people? Okay, that's a tough one because I'm an adult. No. I think, I see this in hindsight because I remember being young and being full of life and being even slightly arrogant about my own ideas and feeling that I can change the world. So I think what is a different perspective altogether. So a lot of the times when I was younger, as a younger entrepreneur, a lot of criticisms because I felt that my idea was the best idea that has ever happened, that I was not able to listen to what was said, and I was not able to see beyond sight. So I think the aspect of mentoring is something that I feel I appreciate now more. But having said that, as adults, I feel it's really about people make the mistake that they have to fit in a certain box, that we are able to manufacture entrepreneurs. Just as we would go to school and we feel that you follow a certain system and therefore you will become one. And I feel that's not necessarily the case. I feel that young people should be given the choice. To, again, it's really about finding their source of inspiration and exploring and giving them the leeway to find out the journeys on their own. The idea that we need to experiment and we need to be the kids that we are, more frequently fall down, understand the mistakes that we've done and be guided with that process. I think for us in My Harapan, it's really about making sure that they can make their own mistakes, they can reflect upon it, but they stand guided by people who inspire us, people who around us can provide us the right guidance. So adults, I think they need to remember to be kids more. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And to my next guest, Mahmoudul. One clap, big clap for Mahmoudul. I'll tell you who he is. Mahmoudul is a 3-0 Club member at an age when everybody is busy at the classrooms, when parents tell them you need to study at this certain university and you need to graduate with this certain CGPA and go get a job at certain multinational company. He became an entrepreneur and he started building his own solutions. Mahmoudul, what made you do that?
Good afternoon, everyone. And to our global friends from Europe, Asia, and all over the world, and also my Bangladeshi friends. So basically, I think I'm the youngest speaker in this whole summit, right? But the thing is, as Professor Muhammad Yunus said, young people can change the world. And I believe we also do have some capabilities, right? At some capacity, we change our government. But we also blame a lot about our government. You know, in our communities, we see a lot of problem every single day, and we live with this problem. And we expect that some international NGOs or some international, relief funds can solve our problem. But we every single day are facing this problem firsthand. So without anyone's help, we firsthand need to act on our own problem we face. And when as a youth, we are Gen Z, right? So our focus span is very low. So right now I'm doing this, and after this summit I'll be doing that. So that the focus is like very, very small time. But like when I think about empathizing, I find one single differentiation between empathy and sympathy. So it's like you can donate to a beggar a single penny, and you can keep walking away, and you can also empathize yourself about the problem that made him beg to you, and you can act on the problem at your capacity. So every single day when I grow up and I go to school and colleges, I see every single people talk about plastic pollution. So in our country, we are one of the mostly climate prone and flood prone countries in the world. So plastic is a huge problem for us. But when our seniors and then the adult, she was saying that when they talk about young people, you solve this problem, and we go like, okay, I'll solve every single plastic pollution in Bangladesh. But that is quite impossible, right? So I thought about, why not when I wake up, I brush my teeth with a plastic toothbrush. So do we have a solution in Bangladesh? No. So when I go to the market and I try to find out that is there any eco-friendly solution first and for the plastic toothbrush I use? There is no available solution. So I first try to solve my own problem first, the problem of my own household. Then I think about this is the same problem of every single household in Bangladesh. So when you think about yourself, you can think largely of the community you live in. Because if I think about myself, if I can solve my plastic toothbrush pollution problem, there are 180 million people living in Bangladesh. And from the young people to the adult, every single person uses toothbrush. So think about it. Around 500 million pieces of plastic toothbrushes being discarded every single year. So that is huge. So, just think about it. Rather than solving a huge problem, I try to focus on my community and myself first, like my own household, including my neighbors. And I feel like, as I mentioned, our focus span is very low. So I try to, after identifying a pain point, I go directly to my friend first. So to understand if they're facing the same problem, and I try to do a basic market research that if other people are also facing the same problem, and if there is a demand, and I go directly to action. Because in our socio-economic position, if I first go to an adult, he will say like, okay, you have time, go to a university, then you will do a business, because it's too early to start. So what I do is I try to do the action first, and I go to them that I failed in this part and I got success in this part, and you guide me in this failure part so that I can overcome this problem. So I think that was my part.
Are they paying for the toothbrushes, your friends?
Yeah, they are paying for the toothbrushes, yeah.
Okay, by the way, so a 30 Club member is actually doing something that Professor Yunus talks about. Sometimes I know sir gets asked, how can we create a 30 world? And he says, and we did lots of pages of research and documentation. So you keep saying 30 world is only possible if we become 30 persons. Mahmudul is one such bright example. And you can buy that sustainable toothbrush in the 30 Club booth in our marketplace. Go drop by afterwards. Thank you, Mahmudul, for doing
That is
what
not
you
for
do.
sale, by the way. So we have very limited edition. You can search online.
Okay.
So last time, every single pieces were sold out. But this time, Ankit Abu said, okay, this is not for sale, but we'll sell only to the, the most passionate one.
Most passionate one.
Yeah,
You need
who
to
care
be
about
passionate about sustainability to buy from here, or you can order online, right? Okay, thank you so much. Now moving on to my last guest in this panel, Mana Hill. You've heard from Mahmudul. He has become a social business entrepreneur. He has mentioned about short span of attention, and a lot of people are concerned about losing jobs due to artificial intelligence, and you work with technology, you work with AI, and we know this has already transformed and will probably transform further how we learn, how we act, how we work, how we solve problems, how we ask questions. Beyond technical skills, what kind of human capabilities will become even more valuable in an AI-driven world? What human capabilities will become even more valuable in an AI-driven world?
One thing we always talk about is that even with AI over here, human in the loop thing is very important. You cannot use AI without human in the loop. AI has its own limitations. You are supposed to use it responsibly. It has biases. So to cater to that, it is very important that human in the loop challenge stays there. What gives me optimism is that young people today have access to unprecedented knowledge. There are tools, network at scale previous generation did not have. So even with AI in the picture, you can make your own thing just by using AI. You no longer need a mentor. You no longer need a supervisor in the start when you are starting your thing. You can research, you can get it checked, and you can improve, you can connect globally, and you can work on a local social problem without waiting for traditional systems to give you permission. You can gather community much easily now for the same cause that you are working for. So as we all would like to say, like, we think our generation is very woke. Like, we are very aware of climate change, inequality, mental health, and inclusion. So that is the hopeful part, that young people can become builders of solutions using AI, not get replaced by it, and not just be participants to those solutions.
Thank you so much. Is it working? I guess it's working. Thank you. I'll come back to you with one last question later on, Manahil. Mayor Hashimoto, we have heard a lot of presentations earlier today, and while also we visited your city, we talked about Japan's growing aging population, and you have used latest technologies in your city. How do you plan on engaging those young people in shaping the future of your city?
It's okay.
ここからはちょっと日本語で説明をさせていただきます。
This part, I'll talk in Japanese. Sorry. I'll speak in Japanese.
Okay.
Yeah.
これからの日本は本当に少子高齢化で、高齢者が多くなっています。そして小さな町の中ではどんどん若者が外に流れていってます。そのような中で重要なことを話したいと思います。
At these days, as you know, in Japan, lots of old people. The population of Japan is aging now, and also young people inside the town living to central cities. Now, I'm going to talk about this.
堺町が最も大切にしてきたことは、若者のために考えるのではなくて、若者と一緒に作るという姿勢です。
The most important principle that Sakai Town has embraced is not thinking for young people, but creating together with young people.
地方では仕事がないから若者が出ていくというふうに日本では言われがちですが、私は挑戦できる環境がないことが大きな課題だと思います。
In many rural areas, people often say that young people leave because there are no jobs. However, I believe the bigger issue is that there are no environments where they can take on new challenges.
そこで堺町では自動運転バスなど最先端の技術やアーバンスポーツ、英語教育、海外との交流など若者が世界とつながり最先端に触れられるプロジェクトを次々と実施をしてきました。その結果、世界のトップクラスのアスリートが移住をし、若い世代が新しい仕事や挑戦に関わる機会が増えています。
That's why Sakai Town has continuously implemented projects that allow young people to connect with the world and experience cutting-edge innovation, including autonomous driving, urban sports, English education, international exchange programs. As a result, world-class athletes have chosen to relocate to Sakai Town, creating opportunities for younger generations to become involved in new careers and exciting challenges.
また、日本の行政は失敗しないことを重視しがちですが、イノベーションは挑戦の先にしか生まれません。自治体が最初の挑戦者となり、民間企業や若者が安心してチャレンジができる環境を整えることが重要だと思っています。
In addition, government administrations often place great importance on avoiding failure. However, innovation can only be achieved through taking on challenges. It's essential for local governments to become the first challengers themselves and create an environment in which private companies and young people can confidently pursue new ideas and opportunities.
私たちが得た教訓は、若者を支援の対象として見るのではなく、地域の未来を共に作るパートナーとして信頼をすることです。そのことが地域の活力を生み出す最大の原動力となることを確信をしています。
The great lesson we have learned is not to regard young people merely as recipients of support, but to trust them as a partner who will build the future of the community together with us. I firmly believe that this trust becomes the greatest driving force behind creating a vibrant and dynamic region.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Trusting young people in their capabilities. Kate, how would a new world order built by young people look like?
One peace world. No, what I think it's very complicated to see, because if you're a young person in education today, and what you dream of and how you think the world might be, so you've been creative, yeah? I think one of the problems is that we are in a world created by old people like me, where young people's understanding or education about the social compact is not what it needs to be. I quite often speak to young people when I say to them, well, who should do that? The government should do that, right? Do you think it'll cost a lot? Yes. And so the government pays, yeah. Where do you think the government gets the money from? Government gets the money from tax, huh? And when the social compact breaks down and government doesn't fulfill its first duties to its citizens, which is number one, keep me safe, yeah, keep me fit, allow me to have some dignity of my life, then young people take to the streets and young people die. So this is, you know, I've made light of it using things like what's it called, manga, and creative. It's not because it should be taken lightly. It's to suggest that creativity, that a world that young people dream of and creative solutions would be a world that can facilitate that. We have in encouraging creativity is to deliver our understanding of the way that the world, because you need to know that, you know, you're a young entrepreneur, you know, you need to learn some lessons. I didn't mean to end up leaving corporate life to be running an NGO. I needed to learn a lot of lessons. So it's always, I think it's always like that, and life is always like that. But I'm very concerned when I see the social compact is clearly broken down in many instances, because that is not something where we can sit in academia, or I can sit in my organization and I can talk about what I think. It is an emergency. It is a global emergency, this thing. So lots to dream about, but an awful lot for people who've got the levers, a lot to do and use the levers.
Thank you so much. And my next question is to Nini. Nini, from your experience of building My Harapan, working with a lot of young people, and now, as you like to say, do you really think we can, as young persons, not really follow our purpose if the society or the family or the system say you cannot do this?
Sorry, can you?
Do you think, as a young person or an entrepreneur, we can leave from our purpose if the society or the system or the family says you cannot do this, for example?
Right.
I would like to become an entrepreneur like Mohamedou, but my father says, no, go and do this job. Do you think this kind of systems and statements let us, go to a different directions from our purpose?
It could be that the purpose is still intact, but you have to follow a different sort of journey. So I was never looking, for example, I can only have anecdotes about my own journey, is the fact that everyone at that point in time always either wanted to be a doctor, an engineer, or an accountant, which I feel can be the case in some societies still. So I think the idea that can you stop any young from doing what they want? I think not. I think in this day and age, if you really want to be able to understand how the world works the way it does now, I think young people can be empowered to do the things that they want in their own way, irrespective of whatever other people want to say about what it is. So having said that, there are many ways of achieving purpose. I don't think you ever let go of your own purpose, unless, of course, you don't know where that is. And I feel that young people don't necessarily know what they don't really know what they want to do immediately. And I feel that if
Sorry about that.
Yeah, hello, yeah. So if based on our experience, a lot of the times, a lot of young people who come to us and want to become entrepreneurs, sometimes don't even tell their parents that they want to become entrepreneurs and do it anyway. So I feel that there are facilitation, there's processes involved which would allow for anyone who wants to become an entrepreneur now, which is more supportive than it was when I was growing up. So accounting and finance, for example, I had to do accounting and finance. And I feel that at the day, that was my journey. It helped me become, I feel, a better entrepreneur. So whatever route that you take, there's always a lesson in hindsight, a lesson to be learned, and it will definitely help you pave a way to you becoming more successful. So it's a learning journey more than you becoming the entrepreneur that you see yourself as one. So no, but these days I can't stop my kids from doing what they want. So I feel that's near impossible. It is near impossible.
Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. Nearly impossible. To my friends Mohammadul and Manahil, one simple question, and you have to answer in 1 minute each. Cool? Okay. So how would this new world look like if all the Gen Zs are in power, in politics, in business, at campuses?
Older people are what?
How would this new world look like if your generation runs the world?
All right. So I feel like, when I go to any, in last year, I had the experience of going to Mongolia at the United Nations House in Ulaanbaatar. So what I really felt is, before that was my first ever international experience. So this is one of my international experiences. I get to meet a lot of people from many countries. So I feel like if Gen Z or young people like me would lead a country or a community, they should think like that the world is a global umbrella and the senior peoples are just like our umbrellas, and they can guide us, and it just, you cannot go to the roads when it's rain while our seniors holding the umbrella, right? So we have our senior have to guide us, have to take with them under that umbrella, and we also have to collaborate with global communities to maybe impact our nation and community. For example, in Japan and in Bangladesh, maybe some of the villages are quite same. So maybe if something that is feasible in Japan, maybe we can replicate that. Maybe we can collaborate with them, just like 30 Club in Japan. I have a deep connection with the 3Z global ecosystem. So I get to meet a lot of my friends of 30 Club members from all over the world. So I get to talk with friends from Philippines. They run their 30 clubs and they solve their own social problem. And I think like this is the community and this is the global cooperation that we need to build, even if we lead the nation, so that we can empower our own community and also help other countries to grow together. And yeah.
Thank you.
I agree. It will be a generation of active, localized builders who will have used knowledge to solve their regional socio-economic crisis unhindered by geography.
Thank you so much. Professor Datu Muhammad Saleh Zafar, my last question to you, and sir, you have to answer in 1 minute. Sorry about that. So how will the future of Al-Bukhari International University look like in this new world order?
Thank you very much. I think it is not about the university itself. It is about the graduates who we produce that is actually spreading all around the globe. We do hope with the kind of training that we give them, exposures that we give them at Al-Bukhari International University, we hope to see different versions of Al-Bukhari, the founder, in different countries of the world. They're all coming from disadvantaged and marginalized community. We hope to see leaders coming out of our university education, and they come and lead their respective communities, inshallah, in the future. And that will be the one that we hope to see in the future. Not about our university, it is about them.
It's the young people that graduate
the young
from
people
the
that we
university.
produce, yeah.
Thank you. Professor Yunus, sir, we'd like to hear your closing reflections from this plenary.
Thank you. Just briefly, I was thinking that we had talked about the university education, how to rearrange it, reorient it, etc. But thinking back, I feel university is too late for them. We already ruined their creative capacity. In a way, they have been mutilated along the process by the time they come to the university. So that's too late to come to the university. So it should start as early as possible. Starting from the very early age, they will be creating their own cohort and see, they will gradually create their own thoughts, own way of doing things, etc., etc. We can only bring inputs into their discussion, that's about it. So this is one free way of discovering their own world. The second point is, young generation today, we're talking about little kids, the generation of 5-year, 10-year-olds. In a way, you can say the most powerful generation in the human history. Because no other generation ever had so much information, so much technology, so much around them. The way the 5-year-old, 10-year-old having in their disposal. Even the 5-year-olds start growing up, touching the wall, see which game, which fun thing they can do, because they feel the touch will change everything, because they have already experienced elders looking at the thing and touching it, changing it for them too. So they watch it, they think everything is about touches. And starting from there, they learn how to use the technology. Technology becomes part of them. Even when the grandfather or grandmother generation struggles with a little difficulty with the phone, with some technical thing, is the 7-year-old kid who comes, touches it, and says he is done. How he found out, how she found out, nobody knows. But it is the elder who is a very smart person, happened to be former professor or something, but the struggle for days, couldn't solve it. So this is the inherent way they gather their power of understanding of the world today. So that power will not go on to be tamed, to be trained by the people who are, in their eyes, probably cavemen. So the caveman is trying to get the smartest generation in human history to do things in their way. So we have to resolve that issue. How do we make sure that they get the right path and go on and see their own path and make sure they understand it? And it has to be a starting point somewhere. You cannot change the whole world leaving it to themselves. It's a chaotic thing. Probably one way to start identifying an area where we will kind of give them the freedom of growing up in their own way and helping them to not give ideas of yours, but some kind of formalities that they will follow to make this happen so that they can start discovering themselves and so on. So this is the only way we can pass on the baton to the next generation. We cannot just say that this is the way it is done. If you fail to explain it, you flunk. You get a third class in your class. And that's not the good way to bring up the next generation. So next generation has to be respected because to them, you are cavemen. You do things funny way. You don't even understand what this world is. So this is a kind of crisis that you have to go through. So you have to minimize that best possible way, how to help them to discover themselves, use their power. They're the most powerful generation in human history, taken care of by the most outdated generation. So mismatch goes right in the root of the whole thing. So this is one that we have to resolve, but we have to admit first that the young people have the capacity to redesign the world in a way which we never discovered before. So how to do that, how to make sure we do not repeat the same mistakes that we have done all along the history. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for closing the plenary in such a nice way. Let us try to engage and support and help our young generation to be bold, be creative, and to do things the way they would like, and definitely the new world will be possible. Thank you so much to all my guests. Can we have a group picture now standing here?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll just take a minute. I was talking about the July uprising in Bangladesh and introduced you to the person who was the face of that uprising in the few hours back. So we now have the second face of that uprising. Very quiet person, but he organized the whole thing in a way his individual capacity made him believe that this is the best way to do that. Because at that time, communication was not very convenient because social media has been stopped for several days, so you cannot communicate. And you are hiding all the time because government is looking for you. And once they catch you, you know what happens to them. So that's the time this person, the second phase of the uprising, he was carrying a big burden because at that time they couldn't connect each other. So in the meantime, there is a declaration that the whole country will be marched towards Dhaka. So that declaration already there. But the second person that I was mentioning, he thought 6th of July will be too late. There's only one more day left. 5th of July. It must be done on 5th of July. On his own decision, he went out, made a statement that on 5th of March, 5th of July, whole country, young people will be moving, all citizens will be marched towards Dhaka. Pardon me? August, sorry, August, I got confused. August, 5th of August, the whole population will be marching. So that was the beginning of this uprising. They came to Dhaka like a flood water all around the country. People were marching towards Dhaka. And as they came closer and closer, government saw the end of it, and the Prime Minister left. So today we have our guest here. We're very happy to have him, Asif. Please let me come down. Okay, here he is, Asif. He's number 2 in history. So these are historical figures that we now have with us. It's a wonderful thing to have them. He was also included in the cabinet as soon as we took vote in the interim government. And he also resigned and later joined the party created by the student leaders, yes. So he didn't contest in the election. So he's still a leader in the party, but not inside the parliament. So here is Asif. Would you say a few words? Yeah, go ahead.
First of all, that's a great honor to meet a lot of good people from around the world. And thanks to Dr. Mohammed Yunus sir for introducing me in such a way. So I was there in the audience and I was hearing from the dais. That was a great discussion, and the celebration of 16th Social Business Day. Thank you to all of you to be in Bangladesh, and I believe your visit is fruitful, and you have got the chance to see our beautiful motherland. Thanks a lot. That's all.
Thank you very much. Let's give a big applause to him. Another thing I should mention, I was at that time when this is going on, I was in Paris with the Paris Olympic. I was busy with that. So every night, this is the guy calling me, come back, after the government ran away. So he was on behalf of all the people in the uprising, trying to persuade me to come back to Bangladesh to form the government. And I was pleading with them, no, not me, find somebody else. I'm not good for those kinds of things. I do the things I enjoy, trying to explain as much as I can. But they will not accept that. So finally I said, okay, why don't you think about it, find somebody else who can handle this much better than I do, then you will say that. So he waited, next day call again, same story, please come, nobody else is acceptable. You'll be the only one who will be the right person for us. Again, I explained that this is not a good decision for you. I should not be in the government. You find somebody else. Again, we waited. On the third day, finally, they pleaded. On behalf of them, they were discussing with him. I was discussing with him, only person on the phone. So I said again, on the third day, finally, they pleaded that this is getting too late because the whole country is impatient for a government. For 3 days, there's no government because you are not agreeing. So finally, I said, okay. So then he said, catch the flight as soon as possible. Catch the first flight. So that's the one I did. So this is the guy who made me take the job. Thank you very much.
So, sir, I would like to thank you again to take that massive responsibility at that time when the whole country was not sure about the country's future. And that time he took the responsibility of the country, and thank you for your service. And as well, I would like to say happy birthday, sir. Thank you.
So now you are part of history. You got connected. The whole dots are connected. So it's a wonderful occasion for all of us to have him here. Thank you very much for coming. Thanks a lot.
with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will have a very short and brief break. Feel free to have some amazing coffee, connect with one another, and let's come back here for the next and final plenary of the day in 15 minutes, which is around 5:50 p.m. Looking forward to have you all back by 5:55 p.m.